Yes, sir. We are back. We are live. Your favorite cousins are back. Your favorite duo is now back in session. I'm your host, Cam Silver.
I am your co-host, Kyle Silver.
Man, Kyle, we had ourselves a crazy weekend last weekend. The big dance,
Ooh.
man. The big dance did not disappoint, brother. Oh my goodness. Woo. Ooh. All right.
Yes,
Let's
yes,
let's
yes.
get into it because
We just gotta get right into it, Cam. We just gotta
uh,
get into it, bro. Get it in for the people, man.
insane things happen. All right, so let's start up with I'm gonna just try to like name like all the upsets that happened basically last weekend. All
Heard.
right, so we got Yale beating Auburn, which
Mm-hmm.
was a crazy one. What's their face? How do you say their name? Duquesne's.
Duquesne. I've been saying Duquesne.
Duquesne. As apologize if we say the name wrong. Duquesne beats BYU,
Mm-hmm.
which I did not see that one coming. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't either. I didn't either.
Kentucky, whew, that one right there. Boy, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Kentucky. I know everyone was calling for Coach Cal's job, but from the reports of it, it looks like he's staying. So that right there. I know, I
That's
know,
a whole nother conversation. Oh my goodness. Oh my
I know,
goodness.
I know. If we could sidetrack and get to that one soon, we will try our best to get to that one. Colorado and Florida had a crazy one. That one came down to the wire. That was 102 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
No defense being played at all.
Not none
Or
whatsoever. A
either no
hundred,
defense,
a hundred points in a college game in two halves.
bro. It's either no
Excuse
defense
me,
or
I got it like that.
it was either no defense or it's the fact that it was just good shot making.
Exactly.
It's up to you on that one.
One of the two.
And then we got who else do we got? Clemson beat Baylor
hmm
and in the second round, which is pretty cool to see. Uh,
hmm
Grand Canyon beat out St. Mary's in the first round. Oof.
James Madison beating out Wisconsin in the first round.
Yes,
I
yes,
think that
yes.
was
That
pretty big.
Yes, that was a huge game. I was watching that game. They were very aggressive with Wisconsin on that one.
hmm
But man, phew. And then we're recording this at night, so we'll get into what happened in the regional semis. On the east side, UConn dominated once again. Yeah, they dominated their national champion rematch against San Diego State, beating them by
State.
30
30,
with
30,
30.
82 to 52, guys. Think about that for a second. 30 points.
Illinois and Iowa State came down to the wire. Shouldn't have. If Illinois was able to make their free throws, they probably would have won by more. But nonetheless, guess what? At the end of the day, all that cares is that W at the end, baby.
That one could have
And
been a flip of a coin either way, too.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. That was a great back and
30
forth
points
battle.
is nothing at this point. Like, you know what I
Great,
mean?
great back and forth battle right
Exactly.
there. And
Exactly.
then Alabama survives. Alabama gets out of there with the upset bid on North Carolina. Woo, in the West region. Mm.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was a big one.
Clemson kicking up on Arizona. What?
That was
And
at
we,
I actually was able to like witness that game and watch it fully through. That Clemson's a solid team. I
yeah,
cannot lie. I
yeah,
cannot lie.
no, I can't lie. I slept on them. I slept on
I
them. I
did
can't.
too. I did
I
too. That's
can't.
why I'm saying that. Like they are a solid team, brother.
Yeah. I like that team right there. I can't lie. They got what's his face, Girardi on that team. Who, if you don't know Girardi, he was one of the top scorers in New York basketball history. PJ Hall, who's a monster on down low. That was one thing that I noticed a lot, that they were just able to get their way down low
Yeah.
with Arizona's bigs. And yeah, man, Arizona once again gets
Which is
stopped very
actually
early.
which is actually crazy. I don't mean to get sidetracked, but just which is actually crazy because I'm looking at like you had two dudes on the Arizona side who had double digit rebounds. You didn't have not one person on the Clemson side that had double digit rebounds. There was a group
Right.
effort, is what you
Yeah.
noted. It was a
Right.
group effort. It was a group effort. Everybody on that Clemson side was rebounding. That's what got them that dub. So I just
Yep.
think that's
Yeah.
important to say.
Yeah. And also another thing, Arizona could not shoot to save their life. They
Mm-hmm.
they they
Mm-hmm.
like Caleb Williams, not Caleb Williams, Caleb Love just looked like he just was not there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple other guys just looked like they just couldn't figure it out. So that was
13
that was a
points
tough
for
one.
9 on Caleb Love. I mean, it all it takes is one game, right? That's what we
Yeah,
said.
yeah. what's his face? I think it's Boswell who was one
Mm-hmm.
for five.
One to
Larson was
three.
one for
Yep.
six. Yeah, no, nobody could really make a shot on that team, and
Mm.
yeah, that like you said, that's all it takes is just one game.
Exactly. Exactly. That's all that matters.
But oof, but let's start up. I want to start up with UConn.
Okay.
Now, UConn, this is their ninth straight win, winning over 10 plus points in the tournament. They're tied. It's tied for a record. They are on average beating teams by 23 points in the tournament.
In the last nine, that's crazy.
On average total in the last nine games, they're beating teams by 23 points. Mind you, like the whole reason why this tournament is awesome and it's fun is because it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
tough. Like we said, it's an any given day type of thing. Even with UConn technically not shooting well, they still know how to get it done
They no,
defensively.
they have championship pedigree, and there's nothing
Yes,
else to it.
yes. The
There's nothing
defense
else to it.
defensively, they like San Diego State is one of the best defensive teams in the country, and they've been like that for the past 2 years. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why they were able to face UConn last year in that championship game.
Yep.
But you just see it like they're just too big. They're too long. They have 3 point shooters. They cut very well. They go through their plays. They execute everything, and their defense is stout. Everything about them, they don't have a flaw. And it's been a while since we've seen a team like this
Like,
in general.
it's for me at least, it's been a little bit since I've seen a solid all around college basketball team that you don't have questions around. Nobody
No,
in the country has a question around if UConn can get it done.
mm-mm, no.
It's essentially just about them just finishing it at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just execute. That's the
And
name of the game.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. I'm putting it on the coaching, man. I love Hurley, brother. I love Hurley.
If you grew up in Jersey, you know all about the Hurleys.
I
You,
love Hurley,
if
yo.
you
If I
grew up
could
in,
play for a coach, it would be him,
oh
hands down,
yeah, oh yeah,
hands down.
big time, big time. I love him. I love how animated he is on the sidelines.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Like man, man, and he's very encouraging. Like even like when his players do something that they're not supposed to do and they get taken out, guess what? He still gives them five. Still
Mm-hmm.
giving them five. Still giving them a pat on the back. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? Because
It's not demeaning. It's not like it's not a
exactly.
punishment. Like, hey, just like I saw you. Go
I
wait a
saw
little
you exactly. You
Okay,
you you
I
did a,
got
you
you.
did a you did a lot of good things out there.
Hmm.
You probably just getting tired right now. That's fine.
Exactly.
Just take the seat for a little bit, and I'm gonna get you right back in there.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
He's all
and
just about the effort. He's all about the effort. I
correct,
noticed that about him. He's all about
correct,
him that effort, and there's nothing that he cannot show you what to do. Like
correct.
he will take you to that promised land, and I truly believe that. Like I truly believe that. And if I'm gonna give him one more round, and then we'll make our judgments. But I'm just saying, like I could see if he is the coach there and he keeps building that UConn program on top of what it is right now, I see he could get in the next 5 years, he could easily have three, four
Yeah,
if he
yeah.
really wants to.
Which is
And
crazy
he
to
gets
say
the
because
players.
which is crazy to say because then we could transition over and we could look at someone like Coach Cal who
Hmm.
regularly has a top 3 recruiting class.
Always. Always.
But over the last 5 years, has not been able to get over the hump and at least get into the sweet and excuse me, get into the regional semis.
And the problem is with that is the fact that he wants the young guys are coming.
Mm-hmm.
Only the young guys are coming.
Yeah,
UConn, other teams, a Creighton, a Tennessee, like they have
oh,
older players who have been experienced, who understand what the tournament is like. Now you start to pair all of that up with a bunch of players that have experience, you can't talent will only take you so far. And that's
correct.
and that's what I think Coach Cal has like knowingly but unknowingly is being a part of at his tenure during Kentucky.
Right. And it's weird because what was it, a couple of years ago when they had faced St. Peter's in that first round, they had
Hmm.
an older team.
Hmm.
They had an older team, but they still couldn't figure it out.
So now does it just come down to coaching? Like, are you
I
just
think
getting
I
outworked?
I think
You're
so.
just getting
I
outcoached?
I think so. That's what I think it is. If
Then we
you
need to
look
have a
at
different conversation then.
if you look at the game, if you go back and you look at those games, man, like we're talking about why are your players just standing there? Why is there no action happening? Like one thing that we were talking about before we started recording this, we were talking about UConn's action.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Mm-hmm.
talking about, you know what I mean? UConn executes their plays.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much going on. You don't know where the scoring is going to come from. You don't know if it's going to be Cam Spitzer coming off of a curl. You don't know if it's going to be a slip from Klingon. You don't know if it's going to be, everyone's going to focus on the slip from Klingon. So then after that, Alex Caravan can come out and he
Mm-hmm.
has an open three. You don't know if Tristan Newton's just going to pull up on you and the ball circles around. And then next, he comes in for a catch and shoot three. You don't, you don't know if it's what's his face Castle, the true freshman. You don't know if what he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much that comes into
There's
that.
so
It,
much. So
but
much.
then you got a team like we can go to Kentucky where the only person I'm looking at to score really is Antonio Reeves.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
You
I
know what
agree.
I mean?
I agree. I agree.
You know what I mean? It's things like that where it comes down. I think it comes down to. I think it's just more so the fact that he's getting out coached, and it's also I think it's also him not having it, the players have to buy into his defense more.
Mm-hmm. But no, but for years on end, players are not buying in on the defensive end.
Yeah, yeah. It's just mainly offense, offense, offense. But what happens when your offense doesn't click? Can you get stops?
Well, how do you get it? When can you get a stop? Can you get a stop at the most crucial time? And they've proven that they can't for years on end when
Yeah.
it truly counts. In a one game, like game for your life, you can't stop a cold.
Mm-mm.
So it's like, come on, man. It's like, come on. We're
And,
gonna have to start having a different conversation about Coach Cal, Cam.
and it sucks to see because like obviously if you want to go to the league, you're gonna go to Kentucky because that's where
Exactly.
what I mean because that's where the looks are. That's exactly what the looks are, and there's nothing wrong with that because
Hmm.
he's made pretty deep runs. Obviously he has a national championship, but he's made some pretty deep runs earlier. But I feel like it's just the fact that it's Kentucky, so we expect more.
Exactly. And you know what? I put that, I'm gonna be quite honest because when have I'm gonna when was the last time that they showed us that like they've lived up to that name now?
Probably back when Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox and Bam Adebayo were there.
Okay, so how many years ago was that, Cam?
We're talking what I was probably a freshman in college at that point.
Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Which means I was a freshman in high school.
That's tough.
That's that's essentially 6, 7 years ago at this point.
Yeah, almost 8. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Damn near a decade
yeah,
that you have not produced. And you have the top name, you got the top recruiting class, and you cannot produce when it counts.
yeah. And this was the team that I was high on because they were at the end of the season, they were beating teams
They were
like
hot.
Tennessee.
They were hot.
You know what I mean? And Tennessee is the team right now. They have Creighton
Tennessee
Friday
looking
night,
good.
and that's a
Tennessee looking good.
man. They look really good right now. They look tough. They look tough, but that's also that the veterans. That's also
Mhm.
having veterans on your team.
Nah, hold on. I want to switch gears completely.
Talk to me.
I want to talk Duke, Houston.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know who to choose on that one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know who to choose. Houston is a battle tested
Houston,
team.
Houston is a very go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Houston is a battle tested team. Duke, Duke is another battle tested team. Like the way that they were able to dismantle James Madison was surprising to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought James Madison would put up more of a fight, but
I thought JMU was going to do so a little bit more. Nah, Duke
yeah,
handled.
but
Duke had him handled.
mm-mm. And it's oh, man, it's gonna be rough. that's gonna
That's gonna
be
be a
a
game. That's
that's
gonna
gonna
be a
be
game
a
because
game.
now you got Houston, like who you said been battle tested, who done been through it before. They done got to, the regional finals last year.
They
And it's
got they
like
got they you know
they're an older squad who understands things. But we done seen some hiccups in Houston.
oh yeah, and
We done seen some hiccups.
that was the thing that plagued them in the last game against Texas A&M.
Exactly my problem. Because they done damn near they almost lost. They almost
Yeah,
lost that game, brother.
yeah,
They
and
almost lost.
I can't lie, that I was holding my breath on that one. I was
Exactly
holding
what I'm
my
doing right now because I don't know. 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 I'm a little scared for that one. I'm a little
because
scared.
this is Duke's first time under John Shire, under
Hmm.
Coach John Shire, where they are making it to the regional semis. So I'm very interested to see how they play with the stakes up higher. But this is a coin flip type of game for me.
I think so. I think it is too. I don't think it's gonna be. It's not clear cut at all.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna be even North Carolina State and Marquette.
And Marquette, yeah, yeah, we got to talk about that one too.
That
DJ
is
Burns
not how I
Jr.
seen that going.
Oh no, not at all. Not even close. Not
North
even close.
Carolina State putting it on them.
Bro, I didn't think that North Carolina State would have the gas to keep going.
They putting it
After,
on teams right now.
after 5 games in 5 days in the
Five
ACC
games in five
tournament.
days. 5 games in 5 days. And still putting what 7 games in the last 12 days.
Yeah, yeah. And then the supposed Cinderella team of Oakland, who beat Kentucky that we were just talking about,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't able to get past.
Mm-hmm.
They took them to
Mm-hmm.
overtime, but North Carolina State just found a way to outlast them. So
Exactly.
I'm interested to see how they play Marquette, who has guys like Tyler Collette and Cam on that squad, who are two very good guards.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so it's gonna be very interesting to see how they play. It's gonna be interesting to see how they guard DJ Burns Jr.,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
who's like the modern day Zebo.
Yo, that
Shout out,
boy is nice. That boy is
what
nice.
what
That drop
man?
step, that from the post to the drop step that he does, hit him with the shoulder. It's poetic. It's
And
or
he
he hit him with the up and under, or he hit him. He said it. He's like he feel like Hakeem Olajuwon. He just got blessed with Zebo body. Like that's a nasty
that's a
comparison.
nasty combo. That's a
That's a
nasty
because
combo right
Zebo was
there.
nasty back in the day. Zach
Man,
Randolph was that dude.
what I was a huge Zach Randolph fan.
Zach Randolph was that guy. Don't ever let nobody ever try to tell nobody that
Mm-mm,
that
mm-mm.
Zebo was not that dude in Memphis.
Mm-mm. Burns got he has soft touch, light on his feet, knows how
Exactly.
to use his body. He's wide, so it's very hard to like try to contain him. He can also pass
Footwork.
out of the double team.
Mm-hmm.
Great footwork, yes, great footwork. It's that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough
It's not
matchup for
gonna
them.
be that's gonna be a tough matchup for Marquette.
Hmm
Tough matchup.
I think
But
Marquette's biggest thing. I think they would just have to figure out a way to they would just have to run.
yeah,
In
they
my
gotta
opinion,
on them. Yeah,
you know what I mean. They would have to run on them because if it's dictated by North Carolina State's tempo, they're in trouble.
exactly. Again, North Carolina State coming off of 5 games in the last 5 days, essentially. 6 games in the last however long, 7 games in the last 12.
Hmm
Yeah, how long can that tank go for? And if
Yeah,
Marquette gas him out even earlier, I would say, or you gotta prolong it over the course of the game. You gotta keep doing it and
right.
see how long they can last.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Purdue and Gonzaga. Purdue, like we said, Purdue has basically had possibly the easiest, side of the bracket, other than UConn, who everyone thought was going to be the hardest, but they just made it look too easy. Like
Fine.
we
They're
already know about that.
fine. They're fine.
They're more than fun.
They're fine.
But Purdue and Gonzaga, how does Graham Ike and Ben Gregg down low? How do they match up with Edie?
Exactly. I'm gonna be really interested on that because I'm actually more interested on the Purdue side. I'm just like there's something about Purdue that just like uh, It's
I think it's
not.
because of what has happened over the last couple of years.
I have no faith.
Yeah,
I have no faith. I'm
yeah.
gonna just
I
like that.
I understand it. I understand it
And
because
Gonzaga can catch him slipping.
yeah, and
Zach Edey needs to take control.
Mark Few is a great coach.
Yeah.
Mark Few is a great coach who has seen a lot of guys. He's had guys like Chet Holmgren. He's had himself a 7 footer who could do a lot of things. So,
So and
you
it,
know,
think about from the terms of the fact that like he knows how to stop a 7 footer.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And you done laid out how to stop Zach Edey on multiple podcast episodes before.
right.
So
Push him off of the block, and like if you really look at the games, if you really look at the tape, he don't even really go up free throw line extended.
free throw line extended, he keep the ball too low, swipe at him, swipe, and you swipe.
Mm-hmm.
You get
I
him
tell you, I,
uncomfortable.
I tell you one thing, you have to get him uncomfortable. But if you do start fouling, the bad thing is he can make free throws. That's one thing that I will give him. He can make free throws. He's a big
I'm
body,
just
but
saying in terms of like force him to play up top.
force him to play. Yep,
Force him to
exactly.
play up top.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
And like he's going like the past two teams, Grambling and Utah State, there was nobody big that they were playing. You know what I mean? There's nobody that has size. Graham Ek, I'm not gonna say he has size, but he's a bigger player.
hmm
Ben Gregg, excuse me. He could pull you out to the three. He could shoot that thing.
hmm
If I pull Zach Edey out to the three, who's gonna guard the paint now?
Hey, you right. You right. hmm
So I think that's the biggest thing for Gonzaga. Drag him out, with a lot of actions and things of that nature. Put him in pick and roll situations and make him work. He don't got the DJ Burns
hmm
Jr. footwork. You know what I mean? He don't
Yeah.
have that footwork
He
like
don't.
that.
He don't. He
Make
don't.
make him work. That's the biggest thing.
I
Because
agree.
the man had like what did he have, like 30 and 20 in the last game
hmm
or something like that.
It's
Yeah,
easy
no,
though. Like nobody was making him work.
nobody was making him work. Exactly. Make him work on that defensive side. So then when he gets on the offensive side, you basically negate that whole thing. And now
Exactly.
we're
Exactly.
playing 4-on-5.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly. Yep. Yep.
And
Absolutely.
then possibly the showdown of the night is Creighton and Tennessee.
That's gonna be, oh Lord have mercy. Lord have
Another coin flip. I can't.
I'm not choosing.
Mm-mm, I
I don't
can't. I can't. Ryan, it's funny. A part of me wants Purdue to win and Creighton to win, so that Ryan Kalkbrenner and Zach Edey can meet, both two big 7 footers
mm-hmm.
that are really good. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and plus with Ashworth, I think I'm saying his name, Ashworth, the guard for Creighton versus what's his face? What the guard from
Purdue.
the point guard from Purdue, Brandon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be a great matchup. But man, Tennessee with Dalton Kincaid though, bro, that guy's tough. That guy's tough. He's gonna have something to say.
He has been ooh,
He's gonna have something to say,
ooh.
and he's got a tough matchup because he has to go against Trey Alexander. He has to go
Yeah.
against Brian Baylor
Mm-hmm.
Shireman, excuse me. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna have a tough matchup. You got a couple of wings that are pretty good at guarding the wing spot. So
Mm-hmm.
so it like I said, this one is gonna be a coin flip. It ain't gonna be no gimme for
It's
either
not gonna
side.
be easy. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be like
Mm-mm.
a 10 point, 15 point, 20 point slide now.
No, no,
No, no,
no,
no. It's
no,
gonna
no,
come
no.
down to like the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
Easily. The last minute and a
the
half,
last minute. Yeah, it
30
might
seconds.
shoot. It might go into overtime, like how Creighton did with two
Exactly.
overtime with Creighton in
Exactly.
Oregon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You absolutely right. You absolutely right. Oh
So
man. Oh man.
so oof, we oof, spoiled. I put it to you like that. We're spoiled. It's funny when we first looked at the brackets. I was like, "Ooh, this is kind of weird." But
Yeah.
now, as
The
we
way it
know
worked out
the
is
way it worked
perfect.
out, I can't even complain. I can't
I'm
even
not mad.
complain.
I'm not
Great,
mad. Because
great.
the teams that need to get it done are getting it done. That's
Round
why.
of applause. Round of applause to the committee for that one. Round of applause to the committee for this one. This one was a good one. Good amount of upsets and a good amount of favorites. Coming out strong in the way that they should.
Yep. I
And
agree. I
yeah,
agree.
I'm excited for what the rest of the weekend holds for us.
I agree.
you
I
know. So
agree.
just a little, UConn versus Illinois Saturday night. Two of the top offensive teams in the country going at it. You know, we got Bama and Clemson going at it after that game on the West
Mhm.
Coast. So yeah, no, we gonna be in for a wild ride over this weekend.
We gonna be in for a barn burner emotional roller coaster. Yes,
Hmm.
yes, sir.
See who could get themselves over to Phoenix next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but whew. Now let's switch over to the NFL before we get up out of here. So a few things have changed in the NFL for those who did not see. Now we it's a little different now over there with no hip drop tackles.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL owners, they all met up this week and they unanimously approved banning hip drop tackles. That's the ones that has plagued a lot of players with ankle injuries, all type of leg injuries. So we'll see how that goes. Well, basically tackling as a whole is having to be revamped at this point.
It's completely changed from what
It's
we do it even 3, 4 years ago.
So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see, who teaches it the best, I guess. What teams are really teaching it the best, and it's gonna be real interesting to see how guys tackle guys, you know, when you gotta grab somebody,
In the
that
open
you're
field.
trailing in the open field, yeah. Because most of
Because
those
how do
hip
you
drop
bring guy down?
tackles,
How do you bring down a guy like a Derrick Henry,
yeah,
essentially?
yeah, like how Mark Andrews had got tackled, like that was kind of essentially the only way he was gonna be able to get tackled. Other than
Mhm.
that, that was an easy touchdown at that, during that game.
But then now
Um,
what I feel like I don't mean to cut you off, but what I feel like is like I'm a little more worried that like it's gonna be like where are you supposed to hit the guy is
yeah,
my question because you get penalized for like it's a chop block, but you can't go at a dude's legs like
hmm
end up snapping their knee back in half. You can't go at their head. So what? Now you're just leaving it to the torso essentially.
essentially.
And you got to just wrap them at the torso. Like there's plenty of dudes that get wrapped at the torso and still keep
That's
going.
still right. Like a Derrick
So
Henry,
it's
like you
like,
said,
who are you helping here, guys?
like a Derrick Henry, possibly like a Saquon Barkley, like those guys are not fun to tackle in the open space. Christian McCaffrey,
That Christian McCaffrey. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
those guys are not fun to tackle in open space. But like I said, well, we just gotta wait and see at this point. So
All you can do.
yeah. Another thing, the NFL owners approved the new kickoff rule. So this stems from the formerly known as the XFL, now known as the UFL. NFL owners approved the new kickoff rule. Kickers will kick from the 35-yard line, but the other 10 players will line up on the receiving team's 40. At least nine members of the return team will line up in the setup zone between the 35 and 40-yard lines. Up to two returners will be lining up in the landing zone between the goal line and the 20-yard line.
Hmm.
So if you look at the statistics, uh, going to the old kickoff rules or kickoff routines or whatever, what might have you, only two kickoffs will be returned versus where like the XFL or the UFL, excuse me, would have eight.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so obviously it's more about player safety. They don't want guys, coming in at each other. You don't want someone coming at you downhill 100 miles per hour because you're more likely going to get laid out.
Hmm.
And is about safety, but also just about bringing back returns,
Hmm.
obviously too. So yeah, that's gonna be the oh man that I'm just thinking about like watching like when we first put on the Hall of Fame game, that first preseason game, and we're gonna look
Yeah.
like,
And we're gonna
what
be like,
is this?
everybody in the world is gonna say, wait a minute.
So I
Wait a
would
minute.
suggest, I think this weekend actually the UFL starts their season. So I would suggest if anything, watch the UFL first to just to
Get a
see what it
grasp.
looks like, get
Get
a
a
grasp of
feel.
what
Yeah.
exactly, get a grasp of, get a feel of what it really looks like, and just be open minded to it because I kind of do like this, like I would like to see where the returns come into play
I would
because
like
I
to see
do,
where they stem from.
yeah,
I would like to see even like how does that impact how the kickoffs the kickoffs are? Are you just
hmm
gonna give up that 25 like you just kick it down to the end zone, you gonna give out that 25?
Right,
Automatically now because they changed it
right,
from 20 to 25. Like, 5 yards,
correct.
5 yards, but 5 yards is a lot.
5 yards is 5 yards exactly. So
5 yards is a lot.
it's very, very, very interesting to see what is going on with
I agree.
with, with that. But we've sadly come up to the end of our episode. I wish we could go on more, but yeah, tune in next week. We will for sure have more. We will be definitely talking about, the previews of what's going on in Phoenix with the last four in Phoenix, you know, and whatever more NFL, NBA news drops, you already know we'll be right on top of it. So
Number one's right on top. You already know.
you're ready. Till then, I'm your host Cam Silver,
I'm your co-host Kyle Silver.
and this is the Silver Boys.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Cam Silver from the Silver Boys. If you like our content, subscribe to the channel and like our videos. Thank you for watching.